This episode of the Golf Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. WynnBET is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBET has what you need to win. So sign up today and bet $100 to get a $100 free bet at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. And we're also brought to you by the SGPN Thanksgiving free roll. Everybody who hits football bingo in our contest will win $100 cash and a $100 gift card to the SGPN store exclusively on the SGPN app. All right, D-Gens, welcome back to this edition of the Golf Gambling Podcast. We're going to recap a little bit of the fall, but we're really here just to talk about Thanksgiving Day football games and props. It's your boy, Boston Capper, with the god of golf himself, Steve Shermer. Steve, both our teams play. It's Turkey Day. We got to be excited, right?
Yeah. How many times have the Pats played on Thanksgiving? I guess like in your lifetime of watching football, because I can think of only one other time the Giants have been on Thanksgiving.
I can think of three off the top of my head.
Okay.
The butt fumble was
God.
Thanksgiving night. It was it was hilarious.
Yep.
I wasn't married yet, so 05 Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
I joined. No. Fuck no. So wait, I joined in 01. So 02 Thanksgiving.
Okay. Yeah, there was one that Brady went nuts against the Lions.
Yeah, so I know I can think of at least three. I'm thinking it's five though. I feel like we've played the Lions a couple times. But yeah, I think it's been all right.
Yeah. So the butt fumble game, that was the year I first started dating my wife, and I went over to my mother-in-law's house for the first time. Well, not the first time. I met her for like first Thanksgiving.
Right.
And she back then, before the Jets just murdered her soul, was a Jets fan.
Oh no!
And so, we watched the butt fumble, and honestly, I have not heard my mother-in-law laugh that hard at anything else since I've known her. It just we replayed that probably 10 times over.
Yeah,
it was great.
What sucks about that year is we trounced them. It was like fucking 50-3 or 48-3, and then we lost to that fucking team in the first round.
Oh, was that
playoffs.
The can't wait year, Bart Scott?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
I literally had, so I was like, so what year was that? That was 2000.
That was 2012, 2013.
Yeah. So like, I literally had like a bunch of work people over and shit. And like some like females who hadn't like come over yet, like that, like my buddies brought around, and people were fucking terrified of me and my buddy who were just absolutely losing our collective shit at that game. Like I was throwing people out of the house. Like it was bad.
Okay.
So that was the heavy whiskey days as well.
All right, there you go. Now it's just gin days. So
nice calm gin and tonic.
The only time I remember the Giants went on Thanksgiving was it was way back in 1992.
Jesus.
So I actually had chicken pox. So we usually go down to Philadelphia. My family's down there, a bunch of Eagles fans, They're great other than the fact they're Eagles fans.
Yeah.
So my mom and my sister went down there. My dad actually stayed back up here. I remember two significant things happening that day. Number one, my dad almost burned down the house because he didn't put a drip pan underneath the turkey. And I remember looking up from the kitchen and seeing a billow of smoke come out. And the second thing is I think the Giants lost 27-0 that day. That was the Ray Hanley days.
I was gonna say, so that was right after Parcells.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Ray Hanley. Right before Dan Reeves, because they had Phil Simms and LT had one more run in 93 and 92 that they were terrible. But yeah, I remember that, and it was bad.
Steve Grogan was my quarterback back then. Like, bro, when I was that age, so I was in 92. I was 9.
Yeah, that was right before Bledsoe.
Yeah, right before Bledsoe. And like when I was a kid, we used to go down to, they used to do the off season mini camps or whatever at this place called Roger Williams University down in Rhode Island.
Yep.
And bro, you go down there, there'd be like 100 fucking people. And like I got Ben Coates' autographs, Steve Grogan's autograph, anybody's autograph I wanted, like right next to him, because nobody gave a shit. We were so fucking bad until Bledsoe and Kraft. Like that literally changed our franchise. It really did. Like Bledsoe doesn't get enough credit for putting us on the map. Like in the early 90s, and then Kraft coming in, and Parcells, like.
Yeah, no, Bledsoe was good. Like,
let's let's pump the brakes on.
I mean, relatively for like quarterbacks of that time.
Yeah, that's
like,
fair.
yeah. I mean, like you had Favre, you had L.A. Marina, but like
we
most
lost
quarterbacks back then were kind of dog shit.
Yeah, we lost the 5. And like, listen, I was a Michael Bishop guy. I wanted Michael Bishop to stat. I think it was like the late 90s.
Cold takes exposed.
Yeah, cold takes exposed. I don't care. Like, dude, listen, you don't understand. Like, we all hated Bledsoe. Like, fucking, he was so bad. Just fucking, he sucked. Whatever. It is what it is. All right. So,
well, before we do that, why don't we do a quick little, I don't know if you want what we want to call this, like a report card for the fall for the PGA Tour based on like how we're betting, kind of like how we're feeling about golf. Want to kick it over to you.
Okay.
So I guess if you could, give yourself like a letter grade as far as like how you did this fall betting wise, maybe some things you want to maybe improve upon, going into next year, maybe some sort of early New Year's resolutions. I guess, what would you say?
I'd like to hit a fucking outright again. That would be fun.
Okay.
I
mean, Keegan should be worth like 5 to you.
Oh, I see. I keep forget. How do I forget that I hit Keegan? Because I was on such a miserable run after.
Well, it was a simulation at 3 a.m. It probably didn't even happen, to be honest.
It's fucking true. So, all right. So, so I hit Keegan. But yeah, I mean, listen, whatever. Outright betting's hard. I mean, I think I did good. I definitely did good with the matchups. And then other than the 2 weeks I got absolutely smoked in the fucking non-cut fields, like the placements have been really good for me. I saw you put out your ROI.
Yep.
Like I don't have the patience to go through and do that shit because whatever. Like I know what I'm betting and see it either in the account or out of the account. So maybe at the beginning this year I'll start doing that so I can post it on Twitter for all the fucking ROI nerds. Like
we encountered one this week, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna say one thing about that. No one likes a guy like that.
No one,
especially when you don't really know who you're talking to or what they're really all about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like whatever. Like, and that's the thing. Like when people, like I've gotten people like who go underneath my my card and like 10 first round leaders. I'm like, yeah, it's like $100 to $150 for my entertainment on a fucking Thursday. Fuck off. Like, I don't care. Like,
listen, I have the state of New York who tells me that I know how to budget and plan because I am a CPA. So go fuck yourself, sir.
Yeah, but I mean, other than that, the fall swing, I don't know, man. I was just nonplussed about the whole fucking thing. I think just the whole state of golf, like,
yeah,
it's been tough to get up for it, man. It really has. Like, if I'm being honest, like it's just like we put in. I know you talked to Joe as well, and after his last pod, we were texting back and forth, and I mean, the people think we just get on here and bullshit. Like, no, like we do research, like we put time in, we take time away from our fucking families to do this shit. And yeah, man, like it's tough to get excited about some of these fields. It really is. Like, listen, I'm as generous as they come. You know what I mean? But I love the game of golf, right? And I'm not on the same level as guys like you and Andy and things like that who like literally like it kills you to see like a bad course, right? Like that shit doesn't bother me, right? But I love the game of golf because I play it. It's competitive and it's great to watch. It's a great sport, and just the state of it right now kind of sucks. And I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, I still enjoy it. I bitch about it all I want, but guess what? They roll out a John Deere in 2 weeks, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna watch, and I'm gonna research. I can put the time in, but yeah, I mean, overall, man, I mean, it's just so live things kind of fuck things up. But I mean, if we're being honest, I mean, we're bitching about fields before live too. It just made it that much worse, right? Like it just took away a handful of players that like we enjoy betting on. Like for me, Cam Smith, right? Who I'm going to bet on every major because that's my only opportunity to bet him now, right? So, I mean, it is what it is. Like I'm looking forward to the Hero. Like I don't know. Hopefully we can get some good majors this year and get some good field strengths. Now they're going to have these guys show up at a certain amount of events. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I said this to you after our last podcast that I'm getting really sick of doing critical thinking of like Matt McNeely as like legitimate contenders. Like
I know
I never really put a lot of thought in Matt McNeely all that much, or guys like him, other than maybe a positional or like I'm like. Right. But now that I'm looking at him like 30-1, I'm like, all right, can he realistically win this field? Maybe. And it's been like that pretty much every single tournament. Yep. And with the exception of the CJ Cup, which I went on the podcast the week afterwards and just lambasted the PGA Tour because they didn't even want to do PGA Tour Live, they only had 3 hours coverage. And it's just been like that every single week. It seems like I've been looking at the same fields over and over. So it's gotten boring. The PGA Tour has scaled back on its coverage a lot, understandably, with football. But you would figure we are already paying ESPN Plus subscription fees. Yep. You can at least get off your ass and, put together put together somebody in a photo booth and give them a microphone and just call the action when the cameras are already on the course anyways filming. Like, you're paying the cameraman already.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it was tough. I'm excited for the Hero. It's gonna be fun seeing it's a laid back tournament. I know it doesn't mean anything, but it's gonna be nice to see these guys just kind of just compete and just on the screen. And I always like tropical golf. I know I'm gonna get excited for Kapalua, but I think we're gonna get to the Amex when no one's gonna show up because of, you don't have to go anymore. You have set like tournaments with all the top stars are going to go play. There are skip tournaments like that. It's going to be a tough scene again. It's I think just overall, just the Live and PGA Tour battle. Like I had PGA Tour professional golf fatigue at this point.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. I just got fatigued, like, with everything about it. It's a long season too, man. Like,
yeah,
it's a long season.
It is. It'll be interesting to see how they do with the fall. If it even means anything. Like, a lot of these tournaments we just complain about, we might not see them again. I mean, maybe they go back to Mayakoba or something like that, but it's like a glorified Corn Ferry, playoff event.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do with the big money events in the fall, if they're even going to do them.
I was going to say, like, maybe less is more. Maybe they just take the fucking fall swing off and let's focus on the Corn Ferry Tour and some younger cats and things like that. Like, put that on TV. Let me see some guys who are going to come up and make it to the TV or to the PGA Tour, who I'm going to watch in the future. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather watch that, like, I guess, in theory, you know what I mean, than fucking Brian Gay out there. You know what I mean? Like,
right. And I mean, like, it might not matter to you, but it matters to me when, for example, Seamus Power won the Bermuda and got as many FedEx Cup points as Rory McIlroy winning the CJ Cup. And like, it's going to be alleviated a little bit next year, but still, like, the difference between like winning the Genesis Riviera 600 points and then winning the Honda the next week is at 100 points.
They need to be weighted.
It really does. Like, if they're weighting the OWGR, like you saw the news this week with John Rahm, which, by the way, he's 100% right.
Oh, he's 100% right.
He won a really good field, and his world ranking did not move.
Yeah, so
like stupid. That's ridiculous. But it makes it look stupid.
Yeah,
when
it really does.
These things are pretty comparable when they're not.
Right. Yeah, it's absolutely not. But
yeah,
I mean, other than fatigue, how do you think? I mean, I saw the thing. You had good ROI on the false swing, no question.
Yeah, I mean, I give myself a B+. Listen, 2 outrights. Pretty good. I went heavy with the RSM Classic, just trying to get a winner. I knew it was heavy. I knew what I was doing, sir. And you know what? It almost worked. I had Brian Harman right at the end. Mission accomplished. I just wanted to get sweat. Gave a little back. It's fine. About 8 units with that. Positionals were the ones that did really good for me. Up 7.6 units. About 26% return. Yeah. And just looking at the matchups, like, I didn't do a whole lot, but I think I'm done. I think I figured out what the problem is too with the matchups. I always go positionals first, so I always try and target the guys I like there. And I don't like doubling up on my card, like unlike you sometimes do.
Yeah, no.
So then I go like
what I do.
So then I kind of go to the next tier after that, and I think that's the problem. I'm basically taking like the third crop of guys I like, and then those are my matchups.
So why don't you just do? I mean, so here's the problem is when you do what I do, like. Yeah. It could be a real bad week. You know what I mean? Like, but if you have if you have strong feelings on, let's call it 4 different golfers, right? Why wouldn't you look to take them in the matchups?
So I also noticed, I think books are getting better with how they're putting matchups together. Like I noticed on my screen, like a guy who's doing kind of shitty, not really great course fit is against a guy who's doing shitty, he's not really great course fit. Right. So somebody like me look at the numbers like, okay, well, I mean, I don't really want to bet that. Right. Or guys I like versus guys like they're doing a much better job pairing guys.
They are. I would agree with that.
So I would rather just, first of all, I'm getting plus money on basically matchups to begin with. So just doing that. I made some stupid bets like at the Zozo. I lost 4 units on those positional parlays. That's too cute. That took a little bit out of the ROI. Other than that, though, I can't really complain. So I think just going back, heading into next year, betting no more than about a unit to about 1.3 on outrights every week. I'm going to go a little heavier betting how much per bet on the positionals because I feel confident. I feel good about the strokes gained by proximity numbers. I think that really helps, especially positionals too. Like that really helped identify some guys down the card that would be good courses, and it paid off. So I'm feeling good heading into next year.
Good.
So
I think I'm actually going to start cutting down my outrights and just upping the units.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that's the way.
Yeah.
And like live ad.
Yeah. And you know what? I think I said it to you. I'm done betting anything over 61. I know at RSM didn't work out.
Right.
I am not very good at picking long shots. I think the golf gambling community in general is not very good at picking long shots. So what's the point? Most of the winners I feel like are going to be pinned towards the top of the cards anyways. I'm just going to stick to that range. If I miss out, I miss out.
Right.
I don't have to have that 100 to 1 on my card to stoke my ego. I'm just trying to win money.
That's it, baby.
Yeah.
That's it. So, that's why I'm telling you, that's why I like the position. And like, I'm glad you turned me on to them. I think it was probably mid last season where you finally started getting me to bet. And whenever I got that new local where he had decent numbers, and I was like, oh, okay, I can get behind this. You know what I mean? And like, it really does. Yeah. Like it saved my ass in a lot of weeks. But what's funny is it fucked me in the Keegan week.
Yes,
because I didn't think I hit one single fucking positional spot. But like last week was great. Like I crushed positionals. Like it was fucking awesome. Like top 20s was like beautiful. Like let's go.
Yeah.
Fat in the account. Like
there we go. So all right. So B+ for me.
Give myself a B.
Solid F for the PGA Tour. One last thing about the PGA Tour. I don't know if you saw the news today that Tiger won the PIP for the second year in a row. And it's not a good thing that a guy who played 3 tournaments that weren't even any of your own tours is your best, most popular.
PIP's so fucking. Ricky Fowler won PIP money.
It just goes to show what the state of professional golf is right now.
All right, I don't want to get off.
Let's go to Thanksgiving. Let's take a break, and then we'll talk about something that actually matters.
There we go. All right, listen, if you boys are ready to win money and girls are ready to win money and boost your odds, WinBet is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. And we're bringing the excitement of Win Las Vegas to online sports betting and casino play. Exclusive rewards are right at your fingertips with WinBet. With Win Rewards on WinBet. Be on the lookout for the WinBet Win Hour each Thursday, 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern. During WinBet Win Hour marquee games of the week, will have better odds on WinBet and give you a larger payout opportunity. Great promos, odds, and payouts are happening right now at WinBet. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds on every major sport, WinBet has what you need to win. Ready to play? Sign up today to receive a special offer. You bet 100, you win 100. If there's so much to choose from, all you got to do is head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WinBet so they know that we sent you. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. Offer is subject to same terms and conditions at WinBet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where playthrough WinBet is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
Okay. Right. Thanksgiving NFL props.
Oh, shit.
So are you going to have the ability to watch unimpeded on Thursday or no? Probably.
I mean, what is your definition of unimpeded? Like, it'll be on.
Yeah, my house is there a period where you're gonna have to turn it off? Like, do you have
Oh yes. Okay. So last Thanksgiving I pissed everyone off because they were all sitting in the fucking living room and I was trying to watch the fucking game and I just kept turning it up and turning it up and turning it up and turning it up and turning it up because it's gonna be loud.
Okay. So I was telling you before the show, I have no plans on Thanksgiving.
You know what though, Tommy and so the late game where the Pats are gonna be on, we should be all right because like Tommy and Teresa are coming over and like the kids will go play off by themselves and like we'll be hanging out, watching and playing cards.
Well, they're probably gonna be in bed by then, right? Like 8:30, 9 o'clock.
No.
Well, some of your little ones. The bigger kids probably not.
Bigger kids are they'll be off doing something with their friends. My 9 and 6-year-old in bed when they don't have school the next day at 8:30 or 9. They're behind me right now, jumping on a bed. I can still.
All right. I got lucky. Hey, stay in bed. I'm talking to my kid in the monitor.
You just wait, buddy. Listen, it's not the same yet. When they're 9, and you'll see. You'll see. It's coming.
All right, great. Why don't we talk about the first game first? So 12:30 Eastern.
Let's go.
We got the Buffalo Bills Mafia invading Detroit. They are 9.5-point road favorites over the Detroit Lions. So quick injury report too, based on the Tuesday reports. I mean, Josh Allen's on the injury report. He's going to play. No worries there. But the Bills are banged up. There's center Mitch Morse. He didn't practice today. He's got an elbow and ankle injuries. Not looking too good for him, but we'll see. On defense, though, they got some problems. Tremaine Evans, linebacker, did not practice. AJ Espinoza, ankle injury, defensive end. McDermott said he's probably not going to play. Greg Rousseau is also on the injury report, too. I don't think he's played in a couple weeks. So, that's some pass rushers right there. They're aren't going to play. Tre'Davious White still isn't back to practice. So Bills got some issues on defense. They look good in the DVOA, but there's key pieces missing there. As far as the Detroit Lions, they got some injuries on the offensive line. Jonah Jackson, the left guard, they report him as an illness. It turned out to a concussion. So that's probably not good for his chance to play on Thursday. Evan Brown, their right guard, he didn't practice today with an ankle, but Jeff Okudah, their cornerback, who really is the only good piece in their secondary. He has a concussion they sustained in the Giants game. He is definitely not playing.
No one who got a concussion on Sunday is playing on Thursday.
No, definitely not.
No shot.
No, this is in 1993. So where guys would get
concussions didn't exist.
Well, guys would get concussions and they'd be questionable to return. How crazy!
They wouldn't be questionable. They'd be like, "Get your ass back in there." Do you remember that? Do you remember that old Stickers commercial? Where
I do. I'm Batman. Yeah.
I'm Batman. Like they would never run that ad now. Like that. That's the shit we used to love. Dude, we would get when I played football in high school. So what, like 97, 98, we went to like 3 days, and one of my buddies got a concussion, and the coaches made me and 2 of my other buddies sit with the fucking kid all night in shifts. and then he still practiced the next day. Like he went to 3 days after. Nobody gave a fuck. Nobody gave a shit until I don't know, fucking 5 days.
Well, now these snowflakes have 2 weeks off to nurse their little brains back to health.
That's right.
All right. Well, first glance at this, we're gonna make a pick at the end, but big favorites have not been covering. Like I don't have the exact stat, but it's not, especially big road favorites too. And listen, I know the Bills. I don't do they. I mean, I live up here, so it's not fair. So last Sunday, I went to an indoor playground with my kid, and everyone was wearing Bills gear.
Of course.
So I am not the fair judge to say if the Bills are losing some buzz because they're so invincible up here. I guess nationwide, though, and maybe you're the wrong person to ask who you're a Pats fan. So, are they still getting the buzz of the big bad? Like everybody's scary that they're going to put up 45 this week, or
yeah. I mean, I don't know. They kind of did the same thing last year, right? They lost to us. They went down to Tampa and lost, and then came back and just blew fucking doors on everybody. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. And dude, tough situation last week. Fucking went on the road and fucking covered. I don't know.
I mean, they got off to a bad start though. I mean, it was circumstances. They had a weird week,
right? So I don't know. This is a tough one for me. I got a different number than you. Okay, I got the full 10.
All right. Well,
I don't know if I'm gonna fucking bet it though. This is a stay away from me. I think I'm only. I'll bet it because it's Thanksgiving. I say I'm not doing it now, but I'm gonna bet the fucking.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to go with some props first. So, what do you got? Some props that you like?
All right, so I got anytime touchdown Jamal Williams because that's all this fucking guy does is score fucking touchdowns. Seriously, it's all he does. He had 3 last week versus you guys. He had 1. Sorry, bud. He had 1.
That was very obvious. The Giants. We're going to talk about them a little bit. That was very obvious that they were going to lose that game.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And the Giants' run defense isn't bad. But I mean, so what?
No, it isn't.
And then he got 1 against Chicago, good run D. I don't know why he didn't score against Green Bay. 2 against Miami. Just minus 110 anytime touchdown Williams because Dan Campbell eating kneecaps and shit loves to use him down at the goal line. So that was the first.
Yeah, I mean, can I pause you real quick? So I looked at that and the books definitely are juicing all the anytime touchdown.
Absolutely.
That was plus 150 last week.
Yeah.
So all right.
It's a short slate. They know they're getting all the eyes on it. And like, whatever. I can only bet what I can bet, Steve. Like, I can't. I don't control the number.
Okay. Yeah, and listen, like like a wise drunk man once said, "Juice only matters when you lose."
That's right. That needs to be a T-shirt in the store, by the way.
It probably does. Yeah. Let's get that up on this thing.
Yeah, let's do that. We need to do that.
All right.
I mean, you want to go back and forth? You want me to just rant off the rest of mine?
Just go over the ones you like, and then I'll go.
All right. So I also like Singletary over 58.5, and that's minus 110 as well. I mean, if they're gonna boat race them, which they might, he's gonna get it. He's gonna get over 58.5. He's done it 4 of the last 6 games. He's going up in attempts. He just did it in Cleveland, which is a much better run defense than the fucking Lions do. So if they get up big, they're gonna feed him. And yeah, dude, I like it. Even when he missed it, well, the only game he missed it by a bunch was against the Jets, and that defense is fucking legit. So yeah, I like Singletary over 50.5, and then Allen's longest over 37.5, just because that the Lions are so bad, and Gabe Davis can always grab one deep. Diggs not so much. He reminds me of tell me if I'm wrong. Does he remind you a little bit of Alvin Harrison? Just a little bit. He catches it and kind of goes down.
No,
not to the extreme.
He's got more moves and shiftiness, I think Harrison did.
Yeah, but it's not about that. It's about not wanting to get tackled.
Oh yeah, I mean he's like 6 foot, 180 pounds.
Yeah,
like,
all right, fine, that's all. Yeah, but whatever. Like over 37.5 against this defense. Yeah, I'll take it. Like,
okay.
It could be anybody. I mean, who's the little water bug? McKenzie. Like that dude could make a couple guys mitts and go. And then I got St. Brown over 74.5. The guy's just a target machine, and if they're going to be trailing, or even if it's close, the guy gets the balls. So I mean, if he's getting 12 targets a game. Like, yeah, just give me over 74.5 on that, especially because I think 2 of their other guys, receivers, not even going to go. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. So my first problem, I'm just going to start with like a nice little appetizer to just ease you in. Think something easy. I kind of like doing these sometimes. Okay. So took a couple all totals, adjusted yards, something like that. So Josh Allen, 25 plus rushing yards. Stephon Diggs, 60 plus receiving yards and over 45.5 points, minus 105.
Okay. So the only thing that worries me a little bit is that 45.5.
See, I think this game's going to go one of 2 ways. I don't think there's any way the Lions are really going to stop the Bills. Like they got between just all their injuries in the secondary, they already have a crappy defense.
No.
So I think either the Bills just come out and like they do score the 40 points. Yeah. But I'm also looking at a bunch of injuries on Buffalo. And listen, they let the Browns get off to a pretty good start last week. So gave about 23. The Vikings scored 30 on them. He got no pass rush basically for the Bills. They that's one of their weaker spots on the team anyways. They still don't Tre'Davious White. Jared Goff in a dome, I think they're going to be dealing a little bit. I think they can probably get out to, score a little bit. And I think 45.5 is pretty reasonable. So,
okay.
So just to get that, I think I took Lions +3 in the first quarter. I kind of like what I said. I think the Lions are going to get off to a decent start to this game. I think they're going to get Amon-Ra St. Brown going, get Jamal Williams going. The Bills have trouble covering running backs out of the backfield too. I know DeAndre Swift's been battling shoulder injuries. Got in full practice. Maybe they give him a little more work this time. Maybe they got to march down the field, score a quick touchdown. So yeah, I like that +3, and I got that -110. And then you mentioned Gabe Davis, so no Jeff Okudah.
Yep.
So so while I think Stephon Diggs like he could have one of those 11 catch, 130 and a touchdown game. I think the Lions, they're going to know that no Okudah, they got to do something for Diggs. So maybe they're going to roll coverage of Diggs. I think Gabe Davis is going to get a lot of one-on-ones. Like you mentioned, the Lions are really terrible covering the deep passes. 24th in DVOA and deep passes, 26th in DVOA against second wide receivers. So I think Gabe Davis might get a bomb touchdown. I think he's going to get a lot of looks. So you can get Gabe Davis 50+ yards and anytime touchdown +215.
I'm on that.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
So I took that. Right. So those are my 3 little props for Lions and Bills game. And then an official pick. What do you got?
So if I had to bet the game straight up, gun to my head, I can get Detroit +10. But if I can find it at -9.5, which I'm sure it's available on my books, like I don't know. I'm just gonna take Detroit +10, and yeah, I'm just gonna take Detroit +10. Like they're scrappy, 3 in a row. They're all meat headed up, like believing in whatever Dan Campbell's selling them. So I don't know. Maybe keep it close, like you said, because of the problems in the secondary, and Detroit's got pride, man. It's Thanksgiving and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean they're playing well. They won 3 straight games. So
yeah, I feel like the play is to tease Buffalo down. I feel like that's the play.
It probably is.
Yeah.
I mean, I think either 10, 9.5. I don't care. I like the Lions +9.5 for 10. I think there's backdoor.
I think the Lions is just so gross.
It is, but you know what? I don't have to worry about weather concerns for Jared Goff. I also saw the Lions last week because they're like, I mean, even in the bad weather, they play pretty good.
Dude, they scored 3 points against New England.
That was like 5 weeks ago. New England's defense is good, man. We're gonna talk about them.
It's fucking overrated.
It's overrated. All right,
it is insanely overrated.
All right, we're already doing this.
I already watched the game.
I think there's backdoor possibilities with the Lions. I think Jared Goff is going to be able to comfortably pass and throw there. I like the two-headed, back. Actually, they got Justin Jackson. They just run the ball pretty well for them too last couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's true.
And just Bills are banged up, especially on defense. So,
all right.
I
said it was my bad. It's just my least favorite of them.
That's fine. I mean, honestly, I didn't love any of these spreads.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the one I probably like the most is I can't bet because I'm a Giants fan. So, but yeah, while we move on to that game, though.
All right, let's go.
So, New York Giants at the Dallas Cowboys, a game that the Giants had circled last week, and they probably should have not looked ahead at that game because you fucked up and you should lost to a team you shouldn't have. Thanks a lot, shitheads. They are a 10-point underdog.
Yeah,
holy shit. 10-point underdog to the Dallas Cowboys, who just absolutely embarrassed the Minnesota Vikings on national television. Another reason why the Cowboys are a 10-point favorite is that the New York Giants have a slew of injuries. And let me go through all of them. So already we're missing Xavier McKinney because on the bye week he went went Ryan ATVs and he broke his hand. Awesome. We also had Wan'Dale Robinson blow out his ACL last week.
Yep.
Not great, Bob. Our receiving core already is pretty bad. Not good. Adoree Jackson, though. And I can't fucking stand it when we actually put our good players or anybody puts good players at punt return. And so he hurt himself with a punt return.
As a Patriots fan, dude, Rob Gronkowski broke his fucking forearm one year because he was blocking on a fucking extra point attempt.
I know.
Rob Gronkowski. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like what are we doing?
Like I never liked it when Beckham was turning punts. Like there has to be some like somebody looking at like CFL guys or something like that. Just quick, shifty guys that aren't going to muff a punt.
Yep.
Like, why can't you go out and sign that guy and then instead of put like CD Lamb or like our starting cornerback back there? Like there has to be somebody better.
That was like, do you remember that old NFL Films clip of Belichick talking to Wes Welker on the sidelines after Julian Edelman catches a punt and he runs? And he's like, and Wes is in street close, this is like preseason. And he's like, looks like you're going to get Wally Pipped. And he's like, what? And he's like, Wally Pipp, he's a guy, and he explained it to him. He's like, God, let him take the job. He's like, nice compete, Wes. Nice compete. I literally think that's when the division between Wes Welker and Bill Belichick started because he didn't want to fucking return punts. It's like, good, let the young kid do that shit. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, if I paid my dues, if I'm going to start like a quality starter, like, I'm sorry, I don't want to stand there and just get teed off on.
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't sound awesome for my career. No. So Adoree Jackson, he's out. Xavier McKinney. So and Fabian Moreau. He didn't practice today. He's got an oblique injury. So already our thin secondary is much thinner. We have a lot of injuries in the offensive line. Andrew Thomas, he's probably going to play. We had an illness today. He didn't practice. John Feliciano's got a neck injury. Didn't practice today. Shane Lemieux, who's always seems like he's hurt. Chronically also one of the worst PFF graded offensive line.
Shane Lemieux. Are we talking about the New York Rangers or the New York Giants?
The New York Giants. Giants fans really love Shane Lemieux, and all he does is just
why?
I don't know. I really don't. He doesn't really do much for me. But he didn't practice today because of a toe injury. We're actually might get Evan Neal back though, which might be a blessing and a curse because he got absolutely embarrassed the last time the Cowboys played him. Just an absolute turnstile. Yeah. He's had a rough transition to the NFL. He was limited with knee injury. And then actually good news for the Giants. Richie James, our star wide receiver, he was eliminated today with a knee injury. We actually need him to come back today.
What about your boy? Can he come back yet? The guy who
Kenny
who
Golladay?
I take every year in fantasy. No, Sterling Shepard. Isn't he ready to come back?
No, he's out. He blew out. His knee exploded.
I thought he was ready to come back.
No, he was jogging and then he went down like a sniper.
No, I remember.
No, he's done probably for his career. I think that's the 8th time he's blown his ACL.
Yeah, I know.
So, all right. Over on the Cowboys side, they've had a rash of illness. Maybe my daughter gave them RSV because everybody was out for an injury. You got Dante Fowler, Jonathan Hankins, DeMarcus Lawrence. They were all with illnesses today. Michael Parsons was limited with a knee injury, but he sounds like he's going to be fine. Anthony Barr, their linebacker, didn't play with a hamstring injury. We'll see about that. And then Zeke, limited with knee injury. He's going to play.
He's playing.
Yeah. So basically, Dallas comes in a much healthier situation than the Giants do. And that explains the 10-point spread. Listen, it's America's team.
It is not America's team. That's the dumbest shit. Mouth breathers in Texas,
don't shoot the messenger, sir. That's what they tell me on the.
It's TV. So annoying. I fucking hate it. It's.
I mean, look, they have what, like 12 national TV games either between on afternoon primetime or Thursday night or Monday
But no
night.
One likes them other than mouth breathers who live in Texas.
Well, apparently the TV execs make a lot more. Like, you and me disagree.
And like the kids who didn't live in Dallas and like what. Their starter jackets as kids, like little fakers from where.
Hey, there's a lot of those our age, by the way, who had those starter jackets.
Oh, I'm aware. That's why I referenced it.
Okay. All right. I mean, look, like initial thought about this game is it seems like the bill has come due for the Giants. Listen, the first 2/3 of our schedule has been, I'm just gonna say a cakewalk.
Yeah.
The tougher games we played, I mean, the Ravens win was great. Titans coming back, like in hindsight, that ended up being a really good win. Yeah. But the Packers, that was kind of a fraud win. We played the Texans, we played the Jaguars. I mean, we haven't really played a whole lot of teams. And now coming down the stretch, we got Dallas, we have Washington twice, who no longer is a cupcake because apparently Tyler Heineke is Doug Flutie now.
It's so stupid.
It is stupid, but he's gotten playing good. We had the Eagles twice. I thought the Colts were going to be a win, but apparently they're playing hard for Jeff Saturday. We got to go to Minnesota. It's a rough schedule for the Giants, and I laid a sizable bet at over 8.5 wins for the Giants in season before the Ravens game, and I felt 2 weeks ago I felt really good about that bet, and now I'm not feeling so great. We really needed that Lions win. That's part of the reason why I'm really, really upset right now. But
that's fine. I laid the alt spread that's already fucking dead for the Pats at the beginning of the season.
Okay, we'll get to
under 6 wins.
Well, it's my turn to complain about my team. Listen. If you want to hear propaganda and everything's all fine, go over to Sports Gambling Podcast of the Mothership. You're not going to hear that from here. I'm a little worried about the Giants right now, given that when you take a team that was absolutely just completely mismanaged for 5 years and you throw a couple injuries to a team that was already playing over their head, this is unfortunately what we're going to see this week. I'm a little worried about what's going to happen. But why don't we go with some player props? Why don't I go first with the player props? So I just mentioned all the injuries to the secondary. Xavier McKinney out, Adoree Jackson out, Fabian Moreau is hurt. CeeDee Lamb didn't really have a whole lot of stats last week, but it's because they didn't really need him. Giants are 25th in DVOA against their one receivers. His over-under on total yards this week was only 67.5. I took the over on that.
Yeah.
And he had 8. It was kind of like in the September game too. Like they didn't really need him, but he was just running free all over the place. They line him up in the slot. So we have one of the worst slot corners in the league too. I don't even know his name, but he's bad.
That's so bad.
I think CeeDee Lamb's going to have a pretty big game on Thanksgiving. So 67.5 on the over of that. Dalton Schultz. So for the 9th year in a row, the Giants suck at covering tight ends. They are 30th in DVOA, or they're 25th in DVOA against tight ends. Now they haven't really played any good tight ends. So like if you look like the stat like fantasy points against, that's cute.
He just busted it. Yeah.
Who is he like? Oh, that one. What a little kiss there.
He's my buddy.
Okay.
I'm one of those old guys with a rat dog now.
Okay. All right. Well, I got a rat dog too, but he's sleeping. He's my wife's. He doesn't really like me that much.
He probably heard my voice. Was like, oh.
Anyway, so Dalton Schultz. So the Giants haven't really played a whole lot of good tight ends. The only really good ones they played was Mark Andrews, who torched them. Evan Ingram, who isn't even really that good, but he still got 67 yards. This is probably the second best tight end they played all year. And even despite that, they're 25th in DVOA against tight ends. Schultz has been pretty good since he's come back from, it seems like he came back from injury. I think he had 8 targets and 70 yards a couple of games ago. He had 50 yards receiving a couple of games ago. Then last week he was a down week, but they didn't need him. So his over-under on yards is 35.5 yards. I took the over on that.
I didn't see that. I missed that. I might tell you on that one.
Yeah, I think it's I considered the receptions prop at 3.5, but that had some pretty big juice on it. I think Schultz is going to have a decent game. I considered the anytime touchdown on him and 2 to 1. I just took the yards though. So, I
like the yards better than receptions too. Like for the 9 times out of 10, I'm going to take the yards just because there's so much variance in receptions. Like,
yep. So, all right. And then I had to have a Giants player prop just to kind of give me something to root for. So Daniel Jones. Now I'm worried about having a Daniel Jones prop on my card because
he's Daniel Jones.
Well, because it's Daniel Jones. And the offensive line of Swiss cheese is going to get hit about 15 times. So there's an injury risk to have this. But if all goes well, the Giants are going to have to try to scheme creative ways to move the chains. They're already going to be focused on Saquon Barkley. There's nothing really in the receiving threat to, really give the Cowboys a bunch of worry. And the Cowboys are going to be blitzing from all over, or they're going to be, rushing pretty well. So Jones is going to have to run. So I parlayed together Daniel Jones over 37 rushing yards and anytime touchdown plus 350. I think we can get, when we get close to the goal line, we can do, fake the handoff to Saquon. Jones runs it in. I think his first meeting he got 79 yards rushing. The only other rushing quarterbacks the Cowboys have played this year was Jalen Hurts only had 30 yards rushing, but Justin Fields had 60 yards and a touchdown. So it seems like, yes, the Cowboys get a lot of pressure on the quarterback, but if they escape, they can accumulate some yards. I think Daniel Jones can do that. Throw on top of it, maybe he gets in the end zone. I like that parlay there. But if you but if you want to do the rushing yards, 37, I think is pretty
37.
I think it's a low number given what I think he can do.
Oh. So. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Whatever. Right. I like that.
All right. And then actually I have one more. So I always like doing field goal props when they're in a dome. So over under 47.5 yards for the longest field goal. In 8 of the last 13 Dallas home games, there's been at least a field goal of 48 yards or more. There's been an attempted at least 48 yards in 9 of the last 13. Brett Maher, the Cowboys kicker, is pretty good. He nailed a 60-yarder last week. Graham Gano for the Giants. I mean, if they are going to move the ball, they're probably going to stall out at some point. Good opportunity for a long field goal there. And if you watch the NBC, I actually love it's like Pro Tracer for the kickers, how far would have went. These guys are like
60 fucking 8. Yeah. It's insane.
How many 60 yarders has there been this year, by the way? They used to be a special thing. If somebody hit,
only in Denver can you even attempt this field goal.
And there's been 5 now. Yeah. It's these guys are just a different breed of cat now. So over 47.5 yards, especially in a dome. Love 2 competent kickers. We'll go with that.
Love it.
All right.
Love it.
What about you?
All right. So I'm with you on the Lamb. I'm definitely taking that over 47.5. I might tell you on the Schultz.
Okay.
For me, because Barkley is your best weapon, and I don't know how else you guys are going to do anything. The rushing and receiving total is 102.5, and he seems to do this good week, bad week, good week, bad week, good week, bad week. Mm-hmm. And he had a bad week last week.
He did.
And why not this? Again, Dallas is going to be blitzing as much and sending Micah in, and screen game. I like them to slow down the run a little bit depending on how the game goes. But I feel like Jones, if he's not scrambling, is going to be checking down to Saquon, which rolls into my next prop. If he's not throwing to Saquon, He's going to be throwing to Slayton over 45.5. Who do you got left? It's him, and is Galladay even playing? Like,
I mean, Galladay's still there.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that Richie James guy, that might be the check down guy. Unfortunately, books don't really offer props for him.
I know.
But that's actually somebody that was it was him and Sills. I was trying to look for like, all right, can I get like over like 2.5 like catches or something like that? Like just to get that because that's the automatic one. Slayton's a little bit more of like, I think they're going to key in on him. And he's a little bit more of a deeper threat.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. What's his name? Diggs' brother. He goes for the picks.
He does.
So I mean, Slayton can get loose at 46 or 45.5. Like, I'll take it. Like, especially if it is going to go how it's going to be a 10-point dog and you're going to have to be chasing points. Like, you're going to be throwing to him, throwing to Backley. Like, I like it. I like that one. I took the under on Pollard, under 67.5, because you guys are good against the run. Zeke got a shit ton of carries last week, and
Jerry has to have a hand in that.
Oh, it has to.
I mean, I because I have Zeke on a team. So I have both him and
my team is named fucking Zeke, by the way, because I ended up taking him in the 6th round. I didn't want to take him, but he was in the 6th round. I was like, I have.
But like literally every week, I get the Roto World like update on my phone saying Jerry Jones goes on some radio station talking about Zeke Elliott. Like no one's asking for this.
No one.
Only him.
Not a soul.
He's got to justify that contract apparently. So
that's exactly what it is. Yes.
Yeah. I don't hate it. I mean, I actually consider just Zeke anytime touchdown, but that had a little bit of juice on it. But
yeah, I parlayed anytime touchdowns.
Okay.
That we can get to, but yeah. So I took the under on Pollard. I know he can break one, but whatever. I took the under on Zeke as well because he was like 48.5. And what did he get on the last? What did he get last game? Like got 18 carries and barely beat that. It was like 54 or some stupid number.
Yeah.
So I took the under on both Dallas running backs, hoping that your defense would stop the run again.
It's probably what they're gonna have to do.
Yep.
So okay. All right. And then what about a pick for the game?
I gotta go Cowboys, man.
All right. I will say this.
Dallas sucks on Thanksgiving though. Like they do. But I also bet it at 9.5 when it opened.
Okay.
So
I mean the Cowboys, I remember last year that they fucked me out of my survivor pool with like 60 guys left. No, it was like 30 guys left.
Yikes.
And they had 15 different ways they could have beaten the Raiders and they didn't.
I know.
I mean, look, like divisional game. The Giants are clearly looking ahead to this game. Yeah. I trust Brian Daboll. I know it just on paper, it just looks like it's going to be stacked against them. I think the defense is going to, with what little they have left.
No.
I think they're going to step up. I think they're going to put together a really good, solid game plan. I think they're going to figure out a way to keep Cowboys offense off the field long enough where I think they cover a 10-point spread. I don't think they're going to win, but that's a big spread for a divisional game. And I think the coaching edge is definitely with the Giants.
Oh yeah.
And I think they're going to I think they're going to figure out a way to at least keep it within double digits.
Once again, I think the play is to tease the Cowboys down.
Okay.
So that's what I think the play is.
All right. Well, I mean,
I think
so you think both big favorites are going to win outright?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
All right. Okay.
Here's the deal. I hate teasing for teams not to get blown out either. That's the worst. That's the worst sweat. Like, and if especially because whatever, like 9.5, like that, like I'll do the 7-point teaser. Like I don't give a shit about losing whatever EV is on it to get it down to under 3. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, all
right.
So
any thoughts on the total? It's 45.5. I like the under.
I think I like the under too, especially with Dallas's pace of play.
I see like
they love to run the rock, man.
I see like 23-17 type score.
So,
okay.
You think you can? Yeah.
So if you're gonna tease maybe like Dallas to 2.5 under 52.5 or something.
Oh yeah, I don't think it's getting a fucking 52.
No, 7.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like
7-point tease.
I never tease totals ever. I'm don't bet totals a lot. I bet team totals. I don't bet game totals a lot.
Okay.
Just because.
All right.
I don't know. The game's so fun. NFL's so squirrely. as we bet on golf.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we shouldn't throw stones from glass houses.
No, we should not.
All right. Now let's get to your shitty team. Let's let you complain.
Garbage.
So it's bounced around between 3 and 2.5. Win bet right now. It's Vikings minus 2.5. Let's start with the Vikings injury report first, and then let's go with the Patriots, and you tell me if any of these guys matter. So start with the Vikings. The biggest injury news:
left tackle
Christian Darrisaw concussion. He is out. He's not going to play. Yeah. We saw what happened when he went out last week. Kirk Cousins got fucking murdered. That's bad news bears that he's not going to play. Zadarius Smith and Dalvin Thompson. Dalvin Thompson might play. He's been out for a couple weeks. He was limited in practice. Darius Smith, their good defensive end, he was limited, but he's probably going to play. They had a couple injuries in their secondary too, but these guys are bit players. Andrew Booth, Caleb Evans, they don't seem like they're really
Jefferson's turf toe. That's huge too, man.
Oh, he's got turf toe? I saw he was full. I thought it was full participant today, though.
Yeah, but is
it really turf toe, or are they just kind of?
They said it was turf toe, and that's why he had like weird snap counts last week, and that's what's making me second guess the giant amount of money I put on Minnesota.
Oh, see, that's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean,
that's why I think the line went to 2.5.
I mean, I don't have anything related to Justin Jefferson that affects my props I have already. So,
right.
All right. Why don't we go to the Patriots? So, I know Isaiah Wynn, your offensive tackle, did not practice.
Sucks. Good. He's fucking terrible.
All right. Well, he was downgraded from eliminated from Monday to did not practice today.
Great draft pick, Bill.
Okay. All right. David Andrews, your center. Is he anything?
He came back today as a limited participant.
He was limited.
They were talking about him being out for the season. So I don't know. Like, that's something you got to take a line, because our offensive line is like hot garbage, the fucking worst, like the worst. Like, I was screaming about this preseason so bad that fat fuck Matt Patricia is screwing everything up. I'm trying to do offensive play calling and offensive line coach when he hasn't been on the offensive side of the ball in forever. But Andrews is good. He's a wicked tough kid. If he was out, like, forget about it. Like, I can't remember the backup center's name, but yeah. Okay. So if he plays, that's good news for the Pats.
Okay. Anthony Jennings, does he matter?
No.
Okay. Marcus Jones, does he matter? Cornerback.
I mean, he's gonna play.
Okay. Yeah. All these guys are limited.
He's the one who returned the punt for a touchdown.
Oh, he was? Oh,
yeah.
I had the game on mute. So I know Devontae Parker sucks, so
he plays.
Matter. Yeah. And then Josh Uche.
And he's a significant factor on this.
All right, so he's limited. Okay. But all those guys are probably gonna play. So all right.
I don't know. Well, Isaiah Wynn's not gonna play, and
well, no, not Isaiah Wynn, but probably the guys who are limited.
Yeah, and if David Andrews doesn't play, we're completely fucked.
Okay. All right. Well, as you sipped your drink, since I went on a big rant about my team, why don't you go a big rant on your team right now about how much you're not looking forward to this game?
No, it's in prime time. So here's what scared me, right? So obviously Kirk Cousins in prime time. It's a golden rule of gambling.
It's a thing.
Golden rule. Yeah. Like, I just don't know what to do. Our team, and I know the Jets have a good defense. What the fuck ever. We scored 3 offensive points. It's our play calling. Bill Belichick 2 weeks ago was literally on the post game saying that, players in the locker room were saying that we think they know our calls because they're so fucking predictable. It was like they're in the backfield already.
And then welcome to my world, pal. That's what happened last year when we had Joe Judge on the staff.
Thank you. And fucking Belichick came out and not only acknowledged that game, he was like, yeah, and the week before, whatever that good Jets defensive player is, I felt like he had it too. And I'm like, that's because Matt Patricia doesn't know how to fucking call a game. It's so predictable. He gets into the red zone and he fucking shits down his leg. It's so bad. Like, we can move the ball a little bit between the 20s. Only a little bit, though. Only a little bit, because our offensive line is so bad. All these videos that, like, Orlovsky and everybody else is putting out, they show Mac Jones, like, in his hitch, ready to go. The receivers haven't even fucking turned around yet. The spacing is fucking terrible. The O-line is bad. Like, it's so bad. Listen, I don't expect 07 Brady, right? But the kid was good last year. If we gave him a real offensive coordinator instead of fucking Dumb and Dumber to fuck his second year up, like, maybe we'd be able to see him step forward instead, because 2 other teams are paying him, right? Like, you guys are still Joe Judge, and the Lions are still paying Matt Patricia, fucking friends of Bill, come on back. Let's fuck up the franchise. He's got 2 kids on the staff. Like, I can't, man. Like, I just fucking can't. Like, it's so that game. Do you remember that terrible Buffalo? What was the Buffalo playoff game?
No, there was
with Tyrod Taylor.
Oh, Jacksonville Bills. See, I was thinking there was a Browns Bills game back in like 2010 with like 40-mile-per-hour winds where who was the Browns quarterback? But he went, Derek Anderson. Without wins. He went 2 of 19. Yeah, and they won the game 6-3. That was rough times watching with Bills fans. Actually, I had a great time. I laughed my ass off.
Yeah, I bet you did.
It was rough watching my Bills roommates.
But seriously, like that Jets-Pats game this weekend was the worst. The worst. It set football back 40 years. Like, I don't know, man. At least, like, I just can't. Like, I just don't. This team cannot score points. It cannot score points.
All right.
Our offense is so bad. Our defense is good. Let me ask
you a question. Are you in or out on Mac Jones?
I guess I'm in just because I feel like he was good last year as a rookie to a point. I know he kind of fell off in the second half, but that's the rookie wall, which you expect, right? And,
yeah.
And how am I supposed
They literally won a game where he had 2 passing attempts. Like,
yeah, it was the wind. Like, whatever. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, but how am I supposed to evaluate somebody who is being coached by Matt Patricia and Joe Judge? Mm-hmm. Like, it's impossible. Like, this isn't even a second guess. As soon as that shit happened, I was texting you. Everybody in the Boston media was like, why the fuck are these 2 morons back? Like, why are they back? And they suck. They suck. Their game planning sucks. Joe Judge talks like every stereotypical hardo coach I've ever listened to. And when I heard his stupid press conference for your fucking team, we're going to take on the will of the people. I was like, oh, you got to be fucking. I'm a blue collar guy. Oh, nope. This team is fucked. Joe Judge is terrible. Like,
like not according to the Giants fan base. They love that shit when.
Yeah, exactly. Like whatever. Just like they're 2 garbage coaches. Yeah, he is a fucking fraud. He doesn't speak like a real human being. No. Like I don't know, man. Like, it's just our offense is so bad. I do like our defense. I do think it's overrated. We're long on the tooth and long spots. Matt Judon covers up a lot. That dude's a fucking animal. Like, he needs to be in the defensive player of the year conversation. Like, he's a fucking beast. Like, that was a great free agent signing. Other than, the rest of them, way to go with Nelson Aguilar, fucking Kendrick Bourne. Who are the other stiffs we picked up? Jonnu Smith and fucking Hunter Henry. Like, yeah. Just what a bad draft class after bad draft class. Like, Duggar's a stud. Like, our defense is good, and it's Cousins in primetime. Listen, when this line came out, I was texting with Cousin Mush, and he's like, "Did you see the line?" I was like, "What? What is it?" They fucking told me. I literally opened up all my apps and I put some money down, and now I'm like, the knee jerk reaction. Kirk Cousins primetime, no left tackle. Judon can get to him. Like,
yeah, I mean, you guys
Jefferson with turf toe, like all the fucking things that break Bill's way. Like,
yeah, I mean, despite all that venom and hate you just said, they are what, 6-4?
Yeah, but whatever, dude. We played nobody. We beat the Jets twice. They're the Jets. I don't care how good the defense is. That is you think the Lions are losers? The Jets are the most loser organization in pro sports, period. It's just in their DNA. And then we beat Chicago before they let Fields run around. We beat Goff on the road, fucking in whatever. And who else? Who else did we fucking beat?
I thought you lost to Chicago.
No, we beat. No, we did. We fucking even lost to Chicago.
Yeah, that's the one that Fields went nuts on you guys.
Yeah, and before they even let them. Before that was like the game that sparked them. Yeah. So who else did we beat? We beat.
All right, so you guys beat Pittsburgh, congratulations.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Beat Detroit, congratulations.
Doesn't count.
Beat Cleveland.
Doesn't count.
Beat the Jets twice.
Yep.
And you beat the Colts. Yeah, you're right. You haven't beaten anybody.
We haven't beaten anybody. And it was that kid in there too. It wasn't even Matt Ryan. It was whoever that I can't even remember his fucking name.
It was
a fucking really bad kid.
I don't know.
Yeah, so you don't even remember his name. So bad. We haven't beat anybody. And we're going on the road on Thanksgiving. I know it's Kirk Cousins primetime. I'm going to let the bet fucking stick. I'm sticking with my gut and my venom for my own fucking team. Minnesota -3. Lock it the fuck up. Kirk Cousins overcomes fucking primetime. Oh my God, so scary.
Okay.
I might lay off some of it. I might have to lay off.
I mean, since we just talked about the pick, I mean, I guess I'll tell my. I mean, if I get 2.5 on the Vikings, I think I'd probably take the Vikings. I think they got embarrassed. I mean, like everybody's out on them. Everyone thinks they suck, even though they're 8-2.
They suck.
I mean, you can also, are they maybe a little overrated? Sure. They also, they came off a very emotional win at the Bills. Obviously a letdown.
Huge letdown.
Get the balance right now.
Yep.
Honestly, 3 though, I think that kind of feels right. I think it's gonna be an ugly game. I mean, kind of like what you just said. I don't really have confidence that the Patriots can really move the ball.
We can't score.
But at the same time, your defense is decent, and Kirk Cousins can really screw it up. But I think they could probably win by a field goal. So if I can get 2.5, I'm probably taking the Vikings. So what about player props for you, though?
All right. So I got Mac, longest reception, 36.5, under, -120. We don't have anybody who can stretch the field.
Yep.
Anybody who's shifty, and we don't throw the ball long. I think technically, like, we have a shit ton of 20-yard attempts, but that was the first 4 games when Mac, before Bailey Zappi came in, when we were just throwing up 50 balls to Devontae Parker, and we were throwing pick after pick after fucking pick, and they were blaming Mac Jones, but it's Matt Patricia's fucking play calling for garbage plays. So under 36.5 for longest completion for him. Kirk Cousins, over a half interception, which is even money.
Yeah, I took that too.
Even
that was my
money?
favorite cousin prop. Yeah, I didn't get that either.
What do they know? Because that should be juiced -160. A good defense in prime time. Kirk Cousins is giving us one. We're getting an interception.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are what, 3rd in the NFL in interceptions too.
Yeah,
so you got some ball.
We just replace corners with undrafted kids, and whatever, they turn out good, and we send them off to San Diego, and they suck.
Yeah, all right. I also took that as well. That seems fishy, but you know what? That's a fun one to root
super
for.
fishy. Yeah,
that's gonna last all game.
All game. No, I don't think it will. Actually, I don't think.
Well,
I think that'll be
it could last all game.
Right.
You got a shot to the end.
Exactly. And then I took Mac under a half at +125 because they don't let him throw the ball anymore. Since he came back from Zappi, the kid smells a defender around him and he fucking falls down.
That's a good lean.
Yeah. He doesn't throw.
Like
all the ball, he was what? He was I don't know, 17 to 23 through the third quarter. They were all fucking running back check downs, crossers, no deep balls. They have pounded into his head to protect the football. Under a half, plus money, give it to me. I told you how much I loved Judon and how big of a fucking stud he is. Over 3/4 of a sack. He's going to get to Cousins, especially if that left tackle is out. It's going to be a Judon game. I wish they gave more defensive props where I could be over 2 sacks. You know what I mean? Something like that and get some real good juice. But I can't get it. But I love Judon to get a full sack, no question. And then Folk, I don't know what the fuck happened to him last week. I guess being back in the Meadowlands. Wait, no, we were at home. We were home last week, weren't we?
Yes, you're home because we were at home.
Yeah, we were home, so it doesn't matter.
We were at home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah. So, but Folk, for whatever reason, he saw the Jets uniforms and bad flashbacks, came back, and he couldn't kick a field goal anymore. He had 3 attempts, missed 2 of them. He hasn't missed 2 attempts in a game since he's been with the Patriots. And since I think this is our offense can't move the ball, and we're in a dome, over 1.5 field goals for Nick Folk. Those are my lowest scoring team, Patriots +2.
Okay. All right. So my first, I already said we're both on the Kirk Cousins over half a reception, +100. Yeah, we don't need to go into any more detail on that. So an extension of what you're talking about with Dumb and Dumber. Maybe that's the reason why the last 4 games, your first drive resulted in a punt. And listen, I don't trust either of those stooges on a short week come up with anything creative, scripting your first 20 plays. And I think the defense for Minnesota is going to get fired up. I think they were embarrassed last week. I think the crowd's going to be rocking. I think it'll be good. So Patriots first drive results in a punt, -125.
I love it.
We're going
love
with
it.
And then subsequent, after Jones throws it 15 yards over a guy's head out of bounds, -500. You text me saying, "Fuck these guys! I told you they suck." Mortgage payment on that. All right, and then my other prop too. So the only thing that really works for the Patriots is Ramondre Stevenson. I love that dude. I think he's a good player.
He's a stud.
And even though they don't block for him, I like.
Dude, do you want to hear a crazy stat?
Yep, let's go for it.
So this is a ballpark. It's not gonna be. It's close. Fucking. It's 92% of his yards have come after contact behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
He is getting popped behind the line of scrimmage and still doing this. He does so much on his own. That kid is a fucking beast.
I love that I got him for cheap in our keeper league. That was a good decision to keep him for $6. Well, anyways, the only thing that really works for him is or if the Patriots is Ramondre Stevenson. Just to like mention, they drill in Mac Jones. Either don't turn the ball over, just dump it off. Ramondre Stevenson over 3.5 receptions, -125. That would have hit in the last 8 games.
Yep.
Minnesota is 20th in DVOA against running backs in the passing game, and Tony Pollard just killed them last week. I think Tweedledee and Tweedledum, Joe Judge and Patricia are going to look at that and be like, oh, we could do that too. So I think they're going to copy that blueprint. Stevenson over 3.5 receptions. Lock it in.
Like it. Love it.
All right. So that's it.
Right.
Anything
else?
No,
that's it. Fucking happy Thanksgiving to you and yours, man. Hope the family gets healthy. And when's our next show?
We're doing one next week for the hero.
Okay.
And then we are going to do one for the match. I know. Hey, it's content, baby. Honestly, the match might. Do you know? So, what do you know about the match?
It doesn't matter. We can talk about it later. We're already over fucking an hour. Right. We're already over an hour. All right, man. Happy Thanksgiving to all you DJs out there. Good fall swing for everybody. And let's get some money on some football on Thursday as well. And then like I said, we'll be back for the hero. Happy Thanksgiving. Appreciate all the support. And talk soon.